Starting at center, number 77, Noel BONLEON. Forward number 15, Keith AGOVIDA. Also at forward number 32, Harold ARBOLEDA. Two guard number 29, Jeff COMIA. And at one guard number 18, Joseph TERSO. The head coach for Davao is Arvin BONLEON. Assistant coaches Ronald Magtulis, Pancho Alfonso, Nonoy BONLEON, Anthony Brodet, Amboy Agonoy, and Peter Santamaria. Here comes the starting five for Sarangani Gripper. Starting at guard, number 0, MIGS PASCUAL. Playing center, number 13, ALVES. Forward number 8, Danny MARILAO. Also at forward number 52, LARS SUNGA. And at one guard, number 74, Jeff VIERNES. The head coach for Sarangani is Toto Dohilio. Assistant coaches Mark Manalang, Joshua Inocentes, John Covarrubias, Jock Labrador, Lawrence Lopez, and Jeff Leopas. Team manager is architect Andrew Velar.
Umpire 1 is referee Aganan, umpire 2 is referee David, and the fourth man is referee Alpez. We welcome you once again to our coverage here at the Brenzigao Convention Center. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, mga kaliga. Javi Pananya joined by Coach Mike Perez and Ms. Mika Abisamis. The opening tip goes to the Tigers, sporting some new threads this afternoon.
Yeah, those threads looking good para dito sa sa Tigers. I love it.
Well, let's hope these new threads can signal new beginnings para sa kanila. It hasn't exactly been a smooth road for them these past few games. They've lost quite a number of matches that have put them below in the team standings in the Southern Division, but they are still very much in pace to compete for a spot in the top 8, not just in the play-in.
And the thing that you like about the Tigers is they definitely have all the talent that they need on the floor in order for them to come up with really good wins. I mean, the fact that you have on the floor at the same time right now, Jeff COMIA and Keith AGOVIDA already shows you that you got guys that would be able to dribble, penetrate inside, try to compact that defense. Samantalang may mga shooters ka rin naman sa labas, katulad nila Chris De Chavez and even itong si Joseph TERSO.
Immediately, they tried to go to TERSO on that elevator screen, but illegal pick ang may tatawag laban sa Tigers, and that's gonna go against Keith AGOVIDA.
Or pretty much one of the staples baseline out-of-bounds play para dito sa Davao Tigers. They do love to set up itong si Joseph TERSO with those elevator three-pointers. And why you ask? Well, only because he's a 38% three-point shooter. You gotta go to your guns, and this happens to be Joseph TERSO from the outside.
MARILAO coming on over from the Mindoro Tamaraos. Of course, also one of the former players of this franchise. Nung panahong si Coach John Calios pa ang head coach nitong Gripper. Now Coach Toto Dohilio is the one manning that position. MARILAO scoring the first 2 points of this game. Coach Toto Dohilio has brought a different sense of calm to this team, but at the same time still able to maintain that a little bit of that identity, I must say, from the time of Coach John Calios.
Yeah, and I feel that Coach John Calios did his thing para sa Sarangani, but Coach Toto, in a way, defined clearly responsibilities and roles, and so you understand who gets to do what and kung ano yung responsibility mo, and so that clarity allows that, I guess, certain level of freedom for these players to try and execute all their philosophies and principles and even their plays.
COMIA nakabuelo, changing hands, finishing with the left. Jeff COMIA, what a way to start scoring for the Tigers.
That's what I'm talking about, Javi. You've got a Jeff COMIA who's probably one of the really good, strong and crafty finishers with the ball on the floor and attacking the defense. Doesn't matter whether it's yung depensa ni Coy Alves. Where was he on the floor? Is he gonna get to me once I get to that spot where I start to elevate?
And I think he would want to bounce back from only scoring 6 points against Quezon. The Huskers just absolutely rained down on them from the outside sa kanilang huling laro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Puputukan ng 24 oras ang Davao Occidental doon. That's their first turnover here in this game. There you see Coach Arvin BONLEON.
Well, now really a good execution right there for the Tigers. They had a full 24. They couldn't execute anything. Empty possession. Now you've got to come back and defend and prevent Sarangani from scoring.
This is a very veteran-laden starting unit for both teams. Koy Alves scoring there inside. That's why, for me, coming into this game, I was very excited to witness this one dahil alam ko parehong team kailangan na panalo at alam ko parehong team maraming veterano na talagang madiin din talaga maglaro.
Oh, and we talk about the formula being a good mix of youth and experience. Obviously this is more of an experience side for both these teams. The big man putting the ball on the floor with an acrobatic finish.
Yeah, Koy Alves, one of the more steadier players for Sarangani this season. He has really been at that slot the whole time this season for Sarangani. It's been a difficult job para sa kanya dahil he's had to deal with big men twice his size.
Yes. And that's why it's very important that he gets a lot of help from guys like King Destacamento. And even at some point, I guess itong si Danny Marilao is going to be a big help then for them on that big spot.
Viernes trying to split the defense, picked up by TERSO. COMIA is leaking out. That's going to be a walk in the park for Jeff.
Joseph TERSO and Jeff really connecting right there. Good three by Lars Sunga. I like how Lars is actually mixing it up. Earlier, he saw a close out on that 3 attempt, drove in, dropped it off over for Danny. This time, he took it because he understands he had space and he's within his comfort zone.
7-5 is the count. That's an errant pass thrown by AGOVIDA. Almost 4 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Viernes directing traffic. Sunga wants it at the block. A little height advantage over Jeff COMIA. The back down, the hook shot doesn't get the bounce. AGOVIDA collects the rebound.
Gandang matchup na nun. Jeff COMIA tsaka Lars Sunga, strength-wise, halos pareho. Size, halos pareho. Maybe a little bit of mobility on the side of with the ball kay Jeff COMIA.
Yes, sir. And I would say the explosiveness as well.
That's right.
BONLEON swatted away there by Alves. Marilao gets it. Marilao siya na nagtawid. Danny Marilao trying to go all the way to the cup. That's a foul given up by Jolas TERSO.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of combo that you would want on the floor. Having both Koy Alves and Danny Marilao together. I mean, obviously the two guys can play a lot of defense. Koy Alves is third when it comes to blocks from their team with almost 1 block per game, but Danny Marilao is pretty good as well in that department.
That was our 3-point shot of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances. There you see Coach John Callis still very much involved with this Sarangani franchise. Ano na ba yung official designation ni Coach John dito? I think GM, no?
Siguro.
Parang ganun.
May promotion no?
Oo.
Yeah. And so Coach Toto now takes over the coaching chores, but really it's been Coach John Callis who's formed the foundation para dito sa Sarangani.
No doubt about it.
A lot of threes, a lot of speed on their game.
And I think he's very happy that a lot of his former players have come back here to try and reinforce them and push them over the top. Jeff COMIA continues to score here for Davao, but they're down by 1. Viernes gets a screen from Marilao, takes the 3. He will not be shy about any shot. Ito si Jeff Viernes.
Oh, and every time you give him that kind of opportunity where you leave him that much space, he is not gonna shy away from taking those attempts.
AGOVIDA trying to go backdoor. Nahawakan ba ng Sarangani? COMIA says yes. Jeff says he didn't have a hand on the basketball. Our officials saying he did. They're trying to see if they could challenge. Will they challenge?
See this again. Went to that back door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looked like off Danny. Those fingertips definitely hit that ball got hit by the fingertips of Danny.
Oh, tsaka tinanggal niya agad yung kamay niya as the ball was already making its way. Coach John Callos right now on the floor here at the Brenzigao Convention Center. We'll be taking a short break here. We'll be back.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. Ball possession for Davao.
So it is a successful challenge for Coach Arvin Bonleon and the Davao Occidental Tigers. Tingnan ulit natin yung nangyari dito.
Definitely that reach by Danny Marilao. And Jeff clearly avoiding getting any touches of that.
A chance to get back the lead. Coach John Calios was really so fuming mad because he felt like inantay masyado nung referee doon sa ating baseline na mag-challenge yung Davao Occidental when he should have already gave the ball to be inbounded.
That's right. And so I guess that's the contention of Coach John Calios right now, as Coach John, I think, got a tech for you know, the complaints that he's been in racing.
At kaya nag-free throw doon si Joseph TERSO, and now they get a chance to take the lead here on this possession. COMIA naatasang mag-inbound dito para sa Davao Occidental. BONLEON on the left side. TERSO takes it hand in the face, doesn't get the bounce. AGOVIDA taps it to the wrong guy. LARS SUNGA gets the basketball for Sarangani.
That was from way outside. Itong si Joseph TERSO that time. He's made one, missed that second one already from 3.
PASCUAL, we talked about them during the pregame. Added outside sniping for the gripper. Tries to get the step on COMIA. 2 seconds on the shot clock. SUNGA, I think he got it off in time. At Davao successfully gets the stop here. Tied at 8-all. Kanina pa nagkikiskisan to si MIGS PASCUAL at si Jeff COMIA.
Medyo undersized si MIGS PASCUAL versus Jeff COMIA. We say that because, you know, you see a lot of strength, favor, and you know, explosiveness on the side of Jeff COMIA. So if you're gonna defend Jeff, you know, it's got to be a foot race, and you have to be at that space he wants to attack before he even comes to. Because by the time na nandun siya, mahirap ng pigilan.
AGOVIDA gets it right near the baseline. Could it hit off the bank? That was well defended by Danny Marilao. ALVES trying to get to the loose ball. Unfortunately, the Tigers will be getting another crack at it here. 14 seconds on the shot clock para sa Davao Occidental. They've run the same play thrice already, but this time going through a different variation. That's Noel BONLEON getting inside for the score.
Yeah, they've been executing the little cross play involving TERSO as well as BONLEON. That time they went to BONLEON. Clearly, BONLEON was late on that last defensive try. He just got beat to that spot. See here, as he was trying to keep on digging in against the defense of Coy Alves. Got past the help defense of Danny Marilao.
Sa kanilang laro against the Quezon Huskers. Kit Jimenez checking in for the first time. Marilao attacks the closeout. The kick out. SUNGA settles for the three-point shot off the heel. The tap goes to Marilao. Those big hands able to palm the basketball. VIERNES sa naman na dedikada. Wala. AGOVIDA lets it sail out of bounds. Davao Occidental basketball.
Well, they got the shot that they wanted. A 3 from your best three-point shooting guy on the floor, but he just happened not to make it. And then, you know, Jeff now gets a breather, and Galliano comes in. Interesting point guard rotation combination here para dito sa Sarangani. You've got Kit as well as Galliano both on the floor at the same time for Sarangani.
COMIA. That's a dribbling violation.
Yeah, he palmed it. Palmed it real good as he was trying to turn that corner. Lost control, and he got called for that violation.
Charles Galliano gets into the game for Coach Toto Duhilio. SUNGA, bounce pass to Coy Alves, almost traveled. Galliano trying to break free from COMIA. BONLEON is now on him.
Good skip.
Corner pass, Jimenez, one dribble. Sarangani playing a little ping pong here. SUNGA gets it back. Second serving is good para kay LARS.
I felt that was a little bit of overpassing. I felt Galliano already had a shot, but good thing that ito si LARS SUNGA malakas pa rin para i-collect yung mintis niya. Otherwise, Coach John Calios might have been furious if they missed that shot.
Agovida, strong take to the basket. Medyo malakas yung pectus doon. That's gonna be a foul in frustration by Keith Agovida. And that's gonna put them over the limit.
Oh, that's right.
That should be 2 free throws, am I right? I think it was the previous play.
This was, I felt that really they overpassed, and so Lars missed this because the defense was able to rotate good enough. He was, had that body strength to finish through contact and get those 2 points finally for Sarangani.
I'm sorry, only the 14th foul for the Tigers.
So they'll go on the line on the next one.
Tristan Chavez in the game para sa Davao Occidental, as well as Wangui Escoso, who has really lost a lot of weight, by the way, coach.
Yes, agree. That's why he's moving so much better this season, in my opinion.
Will that count? Yeah, that's going to count.
Yeah, that will count on Kid. Just enough to beat the 24 buzzer.
Sarangani in the lead. COMIA able to lean in and score.
How many of the guys here in the MPBL can actually do that? You force that drive on the middle, but you've got everybody converging, and then, that fade of a finish going right with that finger roll.
He's got 8 out of the 12 points para dito sa Davao Occidental here in the first quarter. Sunga trying to spin against Escoso. Left that one short. That might be off Lars Sunga.
Yeah. And Lars has been getting, for the most part, the volume of shot attempts here para dito sa Sarangani.
A little in and out, and then the attack hangs in the air. It's the ability to finish at the basket, almost second to none para kay Jeff COMIA.
Oh, yeah.
Para dito sa Davao Occidental Tigers.
Clearly, without a doubt. Nakita natin yan sa Zamboanga last season. Grabe yung kombina. I still feel one of the deadliest trio guards that I've seen in the MPBL was that version of Zamboanga when you had, was that Chino Mosqueda, Jeff COMIA, I think that was Irvin Palencia, the other guard in there for Zamboanga, and just a lot of speed and a lot of mobility for those guys.
Nakakatakot rin kalaban sa backcourt press yun. Pag yung tatlong yun, ang ulo ng press mo, skolord.
Ang galing na ng handles, mauutak pa.
There's a stoppage here. John Calles is on the floor once again. He is absolutely not a happy man if you see it on his face. Read between the lines, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that is no longer the GM that's talking to the officials. I feel that's the coach right now.
Definitely.
The coach and Coach John.
Ito yung nangyari dito eh. I think what the initial call I think was against Sarangani ALVES.
Just a little nudge, overextending that arm. One might argue that Koy ALVES actually sold it, but at least that extended arm kind of showed that there was a violate on the cylinder.
Okay, so we're still trying to clarify things here on the floor. Pero ito na si Crew Chief Alan Manzano, palapit na sa ating scorer's table to officially announce the verdict to Miguel Perey. Sarangani wants a change of referees.
Okay. I feel they're gonna sub this one right now.
And I think they're gonna challenge that last call. So there, the yellow light is on in front of Miguel Perey. So challenge niya officially for the Sarangani Gripper. We're all tied at 12 apiece here. It's been a very long first quarter between these two squads. Ay nangyari kanina eh. There was the push. It was initially ruled a foul on Koy ALVES, I believe.
Yes.
But now they reversed that call. Clearly, it was an offensive foul.
Yeah, rightfully so. Kita mo naman talaga yung pagkaka-extend ng arm enough to bring down Koy ALVES from that defense against Christy Chavez. Salubre now on the floor para sa Tigers, as well as Tricky pala nasa loob na.
They double Jimenez, gives it up to Halyare. He picks up his dribble. Marilao flashes middle, fall away jumper just below the free throw line, and he rattles that one home.
So far, the two guys that have been actively, making those shot attempts for Sarangani would be Lars Sunga and Danny Marilao. And at that point, Danny really just a good finish amidst the defense of Wawi Escocio.
There's a dribbling violation against Raymart Escobedo. Pangalawa na yan laban sa Tigers dito sa laro na yan.
This was that move earlier by Perumingan and that violation.
That's Escobedo.
Escobedo, sorry.
But there's tricky doubling Kit Jimenez with Chris De Chavez. Wow, Davao already with 7 turnovers in this game while Sarangani just committed their second. But you couldn't actually see through it because the score is just it's just a 2-point ball game.
Yes. And one thing that's quite surprising here for the Davao Tigers, I think if my recall is correct, this is the first time we've seen, this much extended defense and pressure very early in the game para dito sa Davao Tigers. They normally would apply that roughly in the second or the latter quarters, but not in the first. But right now, they are pretty much on that ball, pressuring it.
Kit Jimenez, that's a tough look para sa kanila. But just to comment on your point, Coach, I think the backcourt pressure defense for the Tigers just equates to their sense of urgency right now at this point of the season. They have the basketball here. 2 seconds left. Escobedo misses. Salubre still has time. Wasn't aware of the time remaining on the clock. And that, my friends, will do it for our first quarter here between Sarangani and Davao.
Pretty much fast action between these two. A lot of contested calls. And, just momentum swinging from one side to the other. The guys, Danny Marilao as well as Lars Sunga have done well for Sarangani. Kit Jimenez hit a 3 moments ago. But in so far as scoring, these two have really led itong Sarangani in that point production. Samantalang ito namang Tigers have really been, depending a lot on guys like Jeff COMIA.
Davao Occidental Tigers, they're down by 5 here against the Sarangani grip.
Patanda na at 36. Appreciates young points in the league, some of which LJ Gonzalez, Marvin Taiwan, special mention to kay John Faa. He said, grabe, from orchestrators during our time, they have evolved into the hearts and souls of the offense. Have you, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Mika. Excellent report there. That's why hindi rin ako nagulat na pagdating ko dito, si Kit Jimenez rin tsaka si Jeff VIERNES ang parehong nagsushooting dito sa Brenzigiao Convention Center.
Well, pretty much those two very legit scorers, both averaging roughly about 32% from 3. And those guys are deadly from there. See the field goal shooting right there. 5 of 14 para sa Davao and 7 of 18 here for Sarangani, both shooting below 40%. So was it a good shooting quarter? Not really that much.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Coach Toto Dohilio and the Sarangani Gripper have won 3 of their last 5 games. On the other side, the Tigers have lost 3 of their last 5 games.
And clearly the key differentiator between these two teams, I mean, if you're talking about favoring for Sarangani, it's really scoring, getting points in the paint, and getting to fast breaks. That's been, pretty much the advantage of Sarangani over the Davao Tigers. But Davao so much better a defensive team than that of Sarangani, allowing only 82 points, samantalang almost 90 ang pinapayagan nitong Sarangani when they play against their opponents.
That has been the identity of the Sarangani Gripper franchise. Whatever moniker they be called the last 3-4 seasons, offense is the best defense para sa kanila.
Yeah, they almost play like, see a good shot right there by Koy Alves of that good feed from the corner by Junji Halyari. They almost play very similar to how the Phoenix Suns of Mike D'Antoni would play. They couldn't care less about defense. So long as we get a lot of shot attempts, that gives us more opportunities to score.
And that, I believe, has really been emphasized over the last couple of years as we see that's a nice dish galing kay Kit Jimenez locating Junji Halyari.
And what you like about that, ironically, we said that they weren't playing so much defense. That started on the defensive end. They tried to recover that ball the other way. Kit Jimenez with a good vision finds Junji Halyari, finishes it off with a good finger roll, going glass.
Yan ang ating fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X-Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. Kit Jimenez can really take that basketball anywhere with that kind of handle. Sarangani has now zoomed to a 9-point lead here against Davao. But they're also struggling ito Davao Occidental Tigers.
Yeah, field goal wise, it wasn't really a very good shooting night. They got only 44% of their shots, 34 of the 77. Pero the threes were very much the one that pulled down their percentage, where they shot only 29%. But the perimeter and the free throws, they were really excellent. And the bench points, that was a plus 19 to their favor, and which really just tells you the amount of contribution that the MIGS Pascual and J. Mark Malyari could bring para dito sa Sarangani.
Danny Marilao gets clobbered there by the defense. Tricky Paramingan claimed he had all ball, but our referees had seen something else in that play. Marilao could not get the lucky bounce on the first free throw.
And so we talked about offense versus defense, much as nakikita natin ang, very extended on the half court itong depensa ng Davao Tigers, but still they're trailing right now.
4 out of 6 from the line itong Sarangani dito sa ating laro. Unang kita natin dito kay King Destacamento for the Gripper, who are in the lead by 10 points now, the biggest lead of the game para sa kanila.
And so over, one of the guys that has really performed real well for the Tigers is Jeff COMIA. He has not missed from the floor. He's gone 4 out of 4. And you're gonna need another guy to do the same with Jeff on the bench.
TERSO has come back in. COMIA has not. Reverse layup is good para kay Junji Halyare. That ball has been moving smoothly here para sa Sarangani Gripper.
And those guys have been moving well, the guys in red. I mean, getting to open spots, a lot of principles of play. You're seeing their ball was on the baseline. Somebody cut from the weak side, and enough for that good find and undergoal stop by Junji Halyare.
And what about the defense, Coach? You lamented about it earlier. The pressure, the intensity, I think it has turned up a notch para sa mga nakapula dito sa laro na to. As we take a look at the assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Well, just a couple of high IQ, the basketball players connecting right there. Galliano got that ball on the baseline. Weak side corner guys got a cut, which happens to be Junji Halyare, and he makes that undergoal stop.
That's a miss para kay Alves. That shot was short.
TERSO's got to start scoring.
12 hinahabol nila dito. TERSO picks up the rock. Needs someone to pass to. COMIA is also now back in the game. Valin provides the screen. Cross-court pass to Tagala. Shot clock at 5. Alano with the roadblock. Tagala gets swatted away by Junji Halyare.
Well, so far in this quarter, we've been proven, wrong by Sarangani when it comes to defense. The kind of defense and the delay of the shot clock, about that last second shot block though by Junji Halyare.
I think this partnership between Coach Toto Dohilio and Coach John Calles has really birthed a different game for the Gripper. Of course, Coach Toto known for his defensive principles, while Coach John, it's no secret how he loves his offense.
That is right. And I guess, the guys have really learned to embrace the different facets of both these coaches. I mean, currently, Sarangani is actually second to last when it comes to points allowed. That's roughly about almost 89 points per game. You cannot allow that if you want to get into the playoffs, because you understand, once you get into the playoffs, it's going to be a lot of defensive schemes in there that you got to do to stop top players from scoring.
And, you may hear it time and time again over the course of how many times already, but obviously defense does win championships. If you want to get to the next level, you have to play defense. That free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliances brand ng Pilipinas. 12 pa rin ang hinahabol dito ng Tigers.
Tsaka napakahalaga nun yung depensa na magsisimula sa regular season pa lang and eventually try to enhance it as you head into the playoffs. See bodies right there falling on that corner action.
Because ultimately, whatever you do in the regular season, you carry on to the postseason.
That is right.
In almost every sport, I believe, especially here in basketball, that is a team sport, is a lot of habit building.
Correct. You got to build that traction very early. You can't, sabi nga nila, you can't turn on and off the switch anytime, especially in a team game, and you have to get players to collaborate and be in sync all together. So that really has to start with practice and then in the games.
Although it may work for teams in certain stretches, especially for the really good teams, but these squads, as we see Halyare go in and put it home para sa Sarangani Gripper, and one opportunity para sa kanya.
6-point already for Junji Halyare. But how about this drive though? And that recovery by Junji. They always say, every time that shot goes in, corner guys gotta chase the rebound. And so far, Junji has played that corner spot very well on that weak side corner cut, and at the same time, crashing the rebounds coming off the corner.
Yeah, early in the season, one of the leading scorers for Sarangani, and in this transition with the new guys coming in, his role has still been very much pivotal para dito sa kanyang koponan, despite it.
Oh, totoo yan. And you like the more talent that they've got right now and the more cohesiveness that they play all together really should favor itong Sarangani.
I think the talent that they have acquired, you see Brilliant is really pressuring hard on top. Very rare to see a big man really create that kind of havoc.
That's right. And you love the effort. That's a travel right there.
Couldn't control his momentum there. Ito si Junji Halyari.
Yeah, see, that was we were talking about this earlier. I mean, if you got your left pivot foot and you jab right, you cannot, start your dribble going the right side because that's always going to be automatic traveling. You're lifting your pivot foot before the ball reaches the floor. So coaches would always tell you if you're jabbing right, you gotta cross the other way because that way, hindi ka matatawagan ng traveling.
Mas safer talaga yun. But, some players are able to execute that. It's just really very tricky.
Oo. May matetempt ka talaga, lalo na kita mo open yung kanan no? Kahit na.
Kasi minsan, pag ginawa mo ng mag-jab dun sa kabila, pero dun naman talaga sa kaliwa yung gusto mong puntahan, pag makita mo biglang bukas yung kanan, kukunin mo na agad eh.
Correct.
TERSO fading away. That ball will not sink into the basket para sa kanya.
Well, the shots that the Tigers have taken, in my opinion, have been difficult. I mean, walang madaling tira sa lahat. Lahat ng nag-shot attempt, may bantay in front. That's a little bit, too much of comfort right there. Brillantes almost embracing already Paris, and Paris not going to back down on that situation.
They've only scored 2 points here in this quarter, coach, while allowing Sarangani already 12.
Yes. And that's been the tough part para dito sa Tigers. Jeff was 4 out of 4 halfway through the quarter already, and we have not seen Jeff COMIA back inside.
Iliagas off the glass, couldn't get his own miss. They're just so much quicker to the basketball, and I really admire the effort Ken Brillantes has been showing here in the second quarter. He's been a joy to watch on defense.
Tsaka kita mo yung pag-extend ng depensa, immediately when he came in. Look at him trying to chase that ball with Escobedo, and good feed right there. One of the few good executions off a fast break. So that's what, their fourth point of the quarter. But that had to come in transition where the defense was pretty much late.
Yeah, that was practically a 3-on-1. Iwan si Brillantes doon.
That's right.
Here he is. Hand off to Jimenez.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a feed! Hooking a pass to King Destacamento. Kit Jimenez is in a zone.
Come on now, King. You got to stuff that one. That pass really good. But this was the fast break earlier.
Ito ang ating play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Only the second field goal here in the second quarter for the Tigers. They're down by 13 points. Danny Marilao, Kit Jimenez, and Junji Halyari have combined for 20 points here. 20 of the 29 for the Gripper in this game against the Tigers.
Yeah, a lot of really good production from those guys. And, why not? Those guys have really been a lot of help coming off the bench. Junji, Kit. And, hindi mo mako-question yung klase ng pag-score para dito sa mga players na ito.
Past the halfway point already of this second quarter. Destacamento to Brillantes, elbow jumper off the back iron. AGOVIDA pulls down the rebound. Can Davao go on a run here?
And the thing about Davao is, sure, they're down 13 right now, but you know they're very much capable of coming back late in the later quarters, so long as they get to, you know, collectively come together and get more points on the board.
Escobedo wide open for three.
There you go. They're not the prettiest looking offensive sets, but at least they swung that ball over to the left of the floor, over to that corner three by Escobedo.
5-0 run makes this a 10-point lead, but they leave Malyari wide open. That shot is off to the left. Numbers here for Davao. Escobedo could not handle the hot potato.
Medyo sumobra ng couple of dribbles, in my opinion, si Keith Agobida right there. Could have given up earlier to TERSO so that, you know, he has a little bit more time to try and decide where to shoot it or to give it off to Escobedo, who's running the weak side of the floor.
Brillantes will get a much deserved rest along with Junji Halyare. Tigers in a zone. Jimenez will take it from way downtown. Munti ka na mapatayo si Coach Mike Perez.
Diretso. Akala ko papasok. Grabe. I mean, after that really good pass earlier to King Destacamento and that looper of a three, you know, those two plays would have been big for Sarangani.
Dahil nasa San Fernando tayo dito, tinira niya galing Clark.
Oh.
Escobedo able to find some space there into the defense, and Arboleda locating ito si Pariliagas.
Well, yan ang rason kung ba't kinuha mo si Pari Llagas. I mean, yung presence inside, hindi mo basta maiuusog si Pari pag nasa loob na yan.
Sarangani on the opposite end of a 7-0 surge. Arboleda able to secure the steal there. Escobedo runs, able to pass it off. That's an offensive foul laban kay Raymart Escobedo, which I'm sure he's very frustrated with. Viernes sacrificing his body, taking that charge.
See this action right here. Escobedo trying to elevate very early right on the elbow side. And Jeff Viernes, Ken and I talked about this in their last game in Batangas. There are very few players who actually offer their bodies to take charges, and Jeff happens to be one of those guys. I mean, a lot of mileage on that man, but boy, he's as tough as they come.
I mean, come on. Na-mention na nga ni Mika yung age niya kanina, which I will not be repeating again. But he obviously doesn't play like it. You know, this guy could just be on the floor and just try to shoot as much shots as he can, because with everything that he's accomplished here in the league, he's already scored 50 points in one game, which has not yet been beaten. He could just, you know, run through the motions on defense, but now he chooses to actually be very much involved. In that time, even the only guy back to stop that play.
And one other thing that you like about Jeff is he can actually still run the floor. I mean, transition man yan, offense or defense, kaya pa rin niya. Good feed again. And Danny Marilao, pretty much one of the really good perimeter shooting bigs we have here in the league.
He ends that drought for the Gripper. Lead back up to 10, 31-21. Arboleda gives it up. Agovida doesn't go for the three. Cuts. Llagas again with that drop pass. They look for Pariliagas, the Davao Occidental Tigers.
And that ball moved from one guy to the next, to the third finisher, which happens to be Pariliagas. Good looks both for Arboleda as well as Kita Govida.
Malyari so good at splitting the defense, unable to hit on the floater. Tumatakbo na naman dito ang Davao. Terso, left hand is good.
And every time that you...
For split time air conditioners, 9-2 blast here for the Davao Occidental Tigers. We still have a minute and 37 remaining here in the first half. It's going to be a very tough schedule ahead for the Sarangani Gripper as they face the Caloocan Batang Kankalu on July 22, 6 days after that. It's the Pangasinan Heatwaves, and on August 11, after a long break, they will go up against the Muntinlupa Cagers.
Yeah, and then all these teams are either trying to gun for the top 4, trying to gun for, you know, the top 10. And so it is going to be a difficult road ahead para dito kala Coach Toto.
That game against Muntinlupa, very much important for the Gripper dahil pareho sila nasa south. Off the timeout, Marilao could not finish. Jimenez finds himself wide open, and this time, after 2 misses from the outside, able to can it home. Ito si Kit Jimenez, who now has 8 points in this game.
A 31% three-point shooter. Itong si Kit Jimenez. He doesn't score so much this season after his comeback, but, you know, whenever needed, he delivers.
After his stint in the PBA with the San Miguel Beermen, he is just like a lot of the guys who came back from the PBA and back here in the MPBL as AGOVIDA scores. We get so much more composed players. Yung experience nila obviously giving them more maturity in reading plays and being a much better teammate.
Yeah, which is why, you know, considering that kind of scoring output from Kit Jimenez, and you partner him with Jeff Viernes, who really just came in as, I think this is going to be an offensive foul called on Keith AGOVIDA. You understand how potent those guys
are. The same guy who took the charge here. Ito si Jeff Viernes.
Yeah. And this is the second time in this game consecutive that he's actually scratched the back of his head after getting the charge call. Look at that. He just times it really well. Very unassuming, and he goes down. You think you got the middle lane of the floor for you to claim, but he just happens to beat you to that spot.
48.6 seconds left. I think napapakamot siya ng ulo pagkatapos kasi iniisip niya, bakit ko pa ito ginagawa? Turnover story in this game, 14-6. Obviously, not in the favor of the Tigers. As we see another downtown conversion from Kit Jimenez to the delight of Coach John Calios in the Sarangani Gripper.
And Kit Jimenez right now is 3 out of 4 from 3, shooting 75%.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at that.
Ito yung galing Clark, Coach.
Yeah. Ibang klase. Kit Jimenez, both those times, you know, pretty much got that space to take off that shot.
Arboleda, the handoff to TERSO. Could not hit from the outside. Marilao is ahead of the pack. They give it instead to Malyari. The lob, Marilao left it short. 10 seconds left here for the Tigers. Do they know it? TERSO finds COMIA ahead. COMIA, the sidestep hangs in the air. No, Llagas could not handle the rebound. And that is going to do it for the first half of play here between the Sarangani Gripper and the Davao Occidental Tigers. My goodness, this intensity for Sarangani just overwhelming the Tigers at this.
You know, Tigers pretty much hanging on. They're down by 10, 27-37. Point shooters, it's the guys who are least guarded that's taking those threes. Not really yung talagang shooter, kundi yung pinakalibre. So I feel perimeter gaming, much as what Koya Alves has shown us in this game so far, is going to be pretty much, you know, a key contribution for those elite scorers. You know, lalo na with game on the line, you know, and you need to score quickly, and you want to play the averages and the percentages really good. The perimeter is really a key part of the floor where you see who the elite scorers would be.
Exactly, and that's why I believe, you know, top players in the game today still very much possess that mid-range game.
Oo, pakahalaga kasi, no? I mean, as I look at all the stats of all the games that we've covered so far, there's been a trend that I noticed. If you don't do good with your threes, and if you're getting sent to the line a lot of times and you're not making good with your free throws, there's a high probability you're going to lose games.
Yeah.
And so, you got to make your threes, you got to make your free throws if you want to win this season. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to win against these teams.
Turnover story, 17-10 in favor of the Gripper. TERSO goes through the Alana screen. Got hacked there on the way to the basket. It'll take 2 shots to see Joseph TERSO. And surprisingly, there seems to be a connection between very proficient three-point shooters, but at the same time, they don't shoot well from the free throw line.
Yeah.
That seems to be quite regular nowadays.
Which brings us to the point of, you know, three-point shooting being very important.
Maraming salamat sa LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Tsaka ngayon kasi basta libre ka sa tres, kailangan itira mo eh. And sometimes it matters, you know, who's at that spot, what can he do at that area in the 3 points. So you have to qualify that also kung sino yung papasahan mo at sino titira. And if it's Jeff Viernes that's taking those shots, you wouldn't mind him, you know, even off misses, because you know there's a good probability that that shot's gonna go in.
I wouldn't mind him if he shoots 50 shots in a game.
Of course. That's why you get him, for those makes.
Guy had 50 points in the game. That's still
Oh yeah.
yet to be broken here in the MPBL. That's still the single game record for most points in a game. Alano, sweeping layup, could not get it to go. No look pass. Viernes able to get it to Sunga, who sees Alves running the floor.
How many bigs can you see that would actually run the floor with that pace and that control and that decelerate for a finish? And you know, Koy Alves has got that.
And by the way, you just saw Coach Onak Bagtulis, first assistant to Coach Arvin BONLEON for the Davao Occidental Tigers. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Coach Ronald Bagtulis, the former Ginebra player in the PBA. Legend yan.
Happens to be your assistant coach na-mention mo, tama ba?
Yes, assistant coach namin yan sa high school with the FEU Baby Tamaros.
How about Danny Marilao?
Marilao able to connect from the outside. He joins the three-point party here para sa Sarangani. Escobedo, guarded here by Sunga. 15 hinabol nila dito. Alano, short na naman ang kanyang layup. Alves, just could not handle the pass. Napatalon si Ken Brillantes mula sa kanyang upuan dahil 2 points na sana yan. And that would extend the lead for the Gripper to the biggest lead of the game. This is our assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Let me give you a little trivia. That was the first 3-point make of Danny Marilao in his Sarangani jersey, right?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And so he's 100% from 3, right?
Ayun rin yung kanyang first attempt.
When he was playing for Mindoro in May 7, when they went up against Davao, he also made a 3. So those 2 3-pointers that he made were both from the same team, Davao, but he played for separate teams. How coincidental is that?
So he has grown to have a liking for this Davao Occidental Tigers squad.
And then the thing is, in that game against Davao on May 7, when he was playing for Mindoro, he only had 3 points. That was the only point that he got.
Escobedo here fighting from the outside and making it. That was a long 3 galing kay Raymart Escobedo, who has somehow struggled in this game. 6 points. Already 2 out of 3 from the outside, but you know, maganda sana yung kanyang porsyento galing sa labas, but he's had some questionable decisions, especially in the first half.
That's right. And I feel that is very important because you do understand he's one of their 3-point shooting guys. Itong si Escobedo, he roughly attempts 5 attempts and he makes a couple of them in a game. He's a 27% 3-point shooter. Volume shots, got to take it.
48-36, Jimenez bringing the ball up against Ricky Peromingan, a known defensive stopper. Sunga, corner pocket 3, left the follow through, that was short. Escobedo leading the break for the Tigers. Jancho Salubre leans in, contact, whistle, 2 free throws para kay Jancho Salubre.
I've always loved how Salubre, you know, attacks strong in open floor. I mean, he's not the biggest of guys, but you know, he's quick to get to spots and strong enough to finish through contact. At ang mahalaga dito, hindi natatakot. Handang makipagbungguan. Si our birthday celebrant in Ronald Magsulis.
Yes, sir.
Looking very young.
Oo naman. Saka very fashionable yan parati.
Oo nga, napansin ko nga, ano? At actually, buong team na coaching staff ng Davao, very fashionable.
Oo naman. That free throw of the game is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Saka napakagaling mag-device ng game plan yan ni Coach Onaka, by the way.
Talaga.
Isa yung nangunguna sa scouting namin dati.
Somehow pagka ang coaches talaga nagsimula sa scouting, ang daming ang daming perspective sa game. Player tendencies, team tendencies, weaknesses.
Ang ganda kasi nung ginawa nila nun to move forward from a season where we finished first runner-up. Bigla nilang kinuha si Coach Onak, tapos si Coach Richard De La Rosa. So parang binalik na rin nila yung dati nilang team sa FEU kasi it was Michael Oliver as our head coach, Alan Albano was the first assistant, and then they brought in Coach Onak Magtulis and Coach Richard De La Rosa.
Oh, okay.
Both of their teammates during their championship run before. Whoa.
Where did that come from?
Somebody is making a statement here inside the Brenzigao Convention Center. Somebody is letting out a lot of rage.
And they've had enough of turnovers. Ball got stolen, but not this time, says Tricky.
Just like a volleyball spike there, galing kay Tricky, pero Mingan absolutely erasing that shot by Charles Caliano. The Tigers successfully complete the stop. Alano, couple of fakes, gets the basket. This is just an 8-point game.
Just the boost of energy that they needed from that good defensive stop by Tricky. And now Tigers got to build off of that, but no, they got to check on this guy right here.
Oh, but Salubre playing excellent in-your-face defense against the much taller King Destacamento. And now it's Sarangani committing errors here against the Tigers.
I felt, Caliano let go that pass too quick. And I didn't have a defender immediately commit to him. I could have played alongside Marilagas a little bit more. Tsaka hindi na rin maganda yung space para kay King when he got that ball on that spot.
Nakakarga talaga lahat ng tao dun sa kabila.
Oh.
I even felt like Caliano could have
gotten a shot. That's right.
For a floater there.
That's right.
Sarangani already in the penalty, just like the Tigers. 48-41, Salubre makes his first free throw. Salubre currently with 3 points in this game. Make that 4. This is down to just 6 kalamangan ng Sarangani. 47.1 seconds remaining here in the third. Backcourt pressure applied here by Janser Salubre. And Salubre affecting the play here for the Tigers the past couple of times.
That's right. Now you're down only 6 here if you're Davao, and so you want to, pressure someone para dito sa Sarangani. Get a good run and finish the quarter strong.
Salubre will take the 3. Why not? That one was short though. Brillantes pulls it down for the gripper. 35 seconds remaining here in the third. Caliano, Pinoy step to the other side. Could have been big. The Tigers sa kabilang dulo. Escobedo hangs, passes. Salubre, yes sir!
Playing with a lot of pace and a lot of force and poise para dito sa Tigers. They are down only 4.
48-44. 9 seconds remaining. Munti ka na mawala kay Viernes. 5 segundo. Caliano turns the corner. Caliano breaks away from the defense and able to get the basket. The Tigers just absolutely collapsing there, letting Charles Caliano go all the way to the rack.
3 of the last plays for Sarangani have all
back for the fourth and final quarter. Able to outscore the Gripper by 4 in that third quarter.
Yeah, huge comeback para dito sa Tigers after being down by much, 16. Able to trim it down to 4, but started the quarter. Brillantes making another basket right there for Sarangani.
Salubre was huge for Davao towards the latter part of that third quarter, but he turns it over. That shot was well blocked, but Ken Brillantes, he has been instrumental defensively
for that good finish.
That was our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. few more game with 1xBet. Let's go courtside to Miss Mika Abesamis.
Some subplots in this game. Coach Arvin Bonleon, Coach John Calles, both were head coaches of San Sebastian, as we mentioned, one after the other. Season 99, Coach John. Season 100, Coach Arvin. So they basically know each other too well to take anything for granted today, as we can see. Besides this, kwento ni Coach Arvin, si Jeff Viernes daw for some reason, mula pa noon na nasa Batangas pa siya, pag Davao ang kalaban, fourth quarter guy talaga yan. So isa yan sa iniisip ng Davao na possible problems. But we don't even have to look that far. Clearly, there is a problem right here that the Tigers need to fix immediately. Good thing they have started. Have you, Coach Mike?
Thank you, Mika. Wonderful report. That explains the, I think, the added involvement for Coach John Calles in this game. Usually, nakaupo lang naman siya sa bench. You know, nag-chill lang siya dyan, calling out instructions from time to time. But first quarter pa lang, talagang tumatayo na siya.
Tumatayo na, no? Tumatayo na kagad.
Even got called for the technical earlier.
Oh, yes. But fashion-wise, may fashionista rin to si Coach John Calles. Diba? Kita mo naman yung mga tindig rin niya pag nag-pormahan. But again, I like that Mika mentioned about, you know, they're looking at Jeff Viernes, but so far as effort-wise, the Davao Tigers have done well in the third quarter. But again, it's not just about finishing the third quarter. What's important is finishing strong the fourth quarter. You know, that where really is the game is determined.
At yan na rin ang naging problema nila the past few outings, itong Davao. You know, sometimes, or actually most of the time, they would start well, able to keep in step, keep the game close, but then they somehow fizzle out in the third or fourth quarters or both periods.
And what frustrates you, I guess, kung ikaw ay supporter nitong Davao Tigers, is you know may pyesa no? You have high quality, high IQ basketball players that can actually compete and make good decisions in the end game. You know, let alone yung mga games na very close na we're in buzzer beating shots. Nakikita mo may ganun eh. So the close games that they've actually lost, you know they're pretty much, you know, better in terms of closing games.
There you see Coach Toto Trujillo and the helm for the Sarangani Gripper, taking over the reins from longtime Sarangani head coach John Calles, who is now in a more managerial position for their franchise. TERSO off the pass. That's rebounded by Peromingan. AGOVIDA gets the basket through the contact there for the Tigers.
No, don't you just love that lefty right there in Keith AGOVIDA? Strong enough to finish through contact. Lalim nun yung tira na yun.
Pero 6 puntos pa lang meron ni Keith AGOVIDA sa laro na to.
Yes, and he hasn't really shot that much dito sa game na to. That he only had, what, 6 attempts. And he's 3 of 6 from there.
The Tigers get a steal here. Escobedo,
good kick.
Kick out to the corner. Peromingan, good line, but a little bit too strong from the left corner. The ball will go Sarangani's way here.
Jeff COMIA comes in for Tricky. And Tricky providing the much-needed energy at the end of the third quarter para dito sa Tigers. But right now, they are once again down by 8.
Well, here with Jeff COMIA's entry, you can expect that kind of energy plus a lot more force, especially going to the basket. Let's see how this pans out. Caliano on the block against Escobedo. Caliano doubled. COMIA defending Viernes. Jeff has only scored 2 points in this game, by the way. TERSO looking inside. COMIA wanted to get it against Viernes. TERSO swings it. They go to the post. Finally here to COMIA with a quick kick out. TERSO now to Escobedo. Wala pa rin galing sa labas. 2 straight 3-point misses for the Tigers. Brillantes leading the break. Bounce pass. Halyare for 2.
Wow. That was brilliant. It's like a point guard right there, running the length of the floor. The guy is pretty much energized in this game. He's been really good. He's all over the place para dito sa Sarangani.
What has this guy been on these past few days? I mean, he has absolutely converted himself into a very impactful player for Sarangani. I have not seen him play this way. all season.
Oh, yeah, very true. If there's one knock to his game today, is he's 0 out of 3 from the free throw, but everything else has been.
Oh yeah, never mind that,
No,
right?
no, he's been pretty good, and the hustles that he's offered. You know, yung takbo length of the floor to trap on a wing side trap area for a big man like him. Ang layo ng tinatakbo na yun.
And to be pressuring up top, really,
Oh, yeah.
very much uploadable para kay Ken Brillantes. Check out
Yeah.
our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Arboleda is at the line. He misses on his first free throw. And the Tigers are now 9 out of 14 from the charity stripe. Actually, both teams have not been shooting well from the
Oh,
free
yeah.
throw line in this game.
It's been a struggle. 7 missed free throws para dito sa Sarangani. And, 9 of 13 so far for Davao.
Italiano drives baseline, kicks it out. Marilao couldn't get the step on COMIA.
Nice
They go
fake.
to Viernes. Arboleda was
Oh,
able
man.
to recover, but no problem for Mr. 50, Jeff Viernes.
You know that shot was going in. The moment he made that fake and allowed that defense to fly by, that's all the time and space that he needs to take and make a 3.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, fourth quarter is definitely the domain of Mr. Jeff Viernes.
How about that kick right here by Danny Marilao? That fake against Harold. He actually recovered and
Yeah.
tried to challenge that shot, but the crafty Jeff Viernes going to his 3-point weapon.
And against a regular guy, Arboleda was actually in good position challenging that shot. The thing is, Jeff Viernes is no ordinary guy.
Oh yes, he's very intentional in taking those threes.
And here he is trying to get the basketball again, pero Mingan playing very sticky defense on him.
Yeah.
Baka natamaan pa nga sa ulo. Mix Pascual is back in the game. Brillantes
wow.
getting it to go from the outside.
Oh wow! Now I've seen it all. Ken Brillantes.
Saan pa nanggaling to?
Oo nga, ibang klase.
Oh my God. The 6'6" big man connecting on his first field goal in this game for the gripper, TERSO.
Look at him again, defending that.
Pero Mingan could not hit from the outside. 62-46. Halyare. They couldn't get the basket in transition there. The Tigers have to rush.
Yeah, you gotta take that.
TERSO. Oh, even that rims out.
It's not been a good shooting night for Joseph TERSO at all. He is 0 out of 6 to my recall. He's 0 out of 7 right now. 0 out of 8, sorry.
Viernes wants a screen, gets it from Brillantes. Marilao with a pass to Pascual. Can he go back to back? Oh, misses everything there. But Junji Halyare saving it to Tricky Peromingan, who saves it to the wrong man. Mix Pascual says, teka lang, we don't need to rush. We're in the lead by 16 points.
You got numbers.
Viernes, laban sa kanyang tukayo na si COMIA. Marilao wants it against TERSO. Viernes still has it. Hooks a pass. Halyare. Does it settle? Halyare, a little dipsy-do. Wala yan. And Arboleda gets it on the baseline. It's Sarangani basketball.
Oh, what a sequence of plays right here. Good recovery. How about this 3 right here by Ken?
Oh my goodness. This guy is absolutely making Coach John Calius' day here.
I think it's only Coach John Calius who knew that 3 was going in.
Wow. This is a 16-point lead para sa Sarangani Gripper under Foreman. 7th season, Davao going up against Sarangani. Both these teams magkadikit sa ating Southern Division team standings. Davao is 11th, Sarangani is 12th. But here the Gripper looking very poised to take this game against Davao. Extending this lead is Junji Halyare.
11 point of the game para dito kay Junji Halyare. He's 5 out of 7 right now from the field. And somehow you're missing the good production of Jeff COMIA to start the game. He was 4 out of 4 in the first quarter, and a good drive right there.
I never scored after that, Coach.
Yes, he never scored after that.
He had 8 of the 12 first quarter points for the Tigers.
That is right.
Viernes right now, pinapahirapan dito ni Peromingan, nakawala. Alves at the basket, finishing up top. Ito si Koy Alves. 8 puntos na para sa kanya. COMIA making a last-ditch effort here. That's his first field goal since the first quarter.
I will still stick to my guns that there is nobody on the side of Sarangani that is strong enough and quick enough to check on COMIA. The closest would be LARS SUNGA, maybe.
Exactly, but that makes you wonder why he did not take a single shot from the first period until now.
Exactly.
Alves, baseline jumper, wala. Halyare pulls it back down to get an extra possession for the gripper.
Oh, bad shot.
Alves nagmadali doon. Ball is loose. 2 players trying to contest for it. That's BONLEON and Kuya Alves. That's going to be a jump ball, possession arrow pointing the side of Davao.
Yeah, I don't like that shot at all by Kuya Alves. Kind of giving up to Junji Halyare on the weak side of the floor, who was pretty much, least guarded guy on that side.
Well, sasabihin na naman sa'yo ni Kuya Alves, coach, lamang naman daw sila ng 16.
Sabagay.
2 minutes and 31 remaining in this game.
I rest my case. But look at Ken Brillantes right there. He's hedging, hard showing.
Yeah, tuloy-tuloy lang sa coach. Yung motor niya, ibang klase.
Oo. Tsaka ang bilis ng recovery, pabalik dun sa original na tao niya. He's not the, slimmest looking guy on the floor, but he's still quick to his feet.
Very nimble. Ito si Ken Brillantes.
Oh, yeah.
If you would award an energy player of the game, I
yeah,
would give it to Ken Brillantes for sure.
Right. Siya na yun.
Halyare comes out. TERSO, may tangan ng bola dito. Tagala galing sa labas. Wala. Alves pulls down the rebound and gives it up to Jeff Viernes.
One good thing about Sarangani, at least for the 3 games that we've seen them play, their transferees in Jeff Viernes and Danny Marilao have really given them what they need. And, that much needed boost on the energy, production, defense. It's really very favorable for Sarangani.
That's one of Sarangani's homegrown players, Dan Gomez, checking in for the first time here in this game with the gripper well ahead by 16 points. A minute and 38 remaining, and absolutely disappointed looks on the faces of Coach Arvin BONLEON and the rest of his staff. Not really the kind of birthday that Coach Onak Magtulis would want here for the Tigers. Pero Mingan, who has struggled greatly. And we see here Operations Chief Emerson Oreta and Security Head Rudy Distrito here at the Brenzigiao Convention Center.
At terno ang cup, ha?
Oo nga eh. Siyempre naman.
Knicks.
Mga pasyonista talaga mga tao dito sa MPBL.
Oo nga. Kaya naman ang ganda ng ating uniform na gawa ng LGR. Fashionista din ang dating.
Yun na nga eh. Maraming salamat sa LGR. Siyempre, doon talaga nagsisimula yun eh.
Oo.
MIGS PASCUAL, hindi pa siya nakakatira. Galing sa labas dito. He's attempted only a couple of times?
Yes. Just a couple of times. Para dito kay MIGS PASCUAL.
Well, his shooting was not really missed here this afternoon as the Sarangani gripper was able to connect 7 times out of the 21 attempts this afternoon against the Tigers.
Yeah.
And with 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining in this game, it's safe to say that they will collect this victory. And the gripper will move up to 8 and 12 to tie the Imus Brotherhood, who are currently at number 10 in the Southern Division. Davao will drop down to 7 and 11, Coach.
So medyo nagkakaroon ng separation na dun sa with that another loss para dito sa sa Davao. And so I guess the sense of urgency on your succeeding games has got to be in there. After all, you have a really good team, and at the very least, at the end of the regular season, you'd like to be in that top 10.
And this is a nice confidence boost for you, lalo na ang makakalaban mo sa next 2 games mo, parehong team sa taas ng North.
Oo.
Caloocan tsaka Pangasinan pala.
That is right.
And then the game after that, they'll be facing a Southern Division foe in Muntinlupa, who will be playing right after this against the Binyanta Tapzel. That's going to be a nice game to watch as well. Pariliagas scoring there, 22.5 seconds. Naibaba nila dito sa 12. But the Gripper will hold on to it with the shot clock off here. Brillantes getting the signal from Coach John Calios na huwag nang sumuti. He'll dribble out the clock here. And officially, the Sarangani Gripper get their 8th win of the season.
Yep. And, in impressive fashion. I mean, playing with a lot of defense, forcing turnovers, able to force Davao into 20 turnovers, to which they got 22 points off of it. They run the break a lot, where they were a +4 in the fast breaks. And, that pretty much has been it. And wag mo nang isama mo pa dyan yung effort nila sa offensive rebounding, to which they got a total of 13 offensive rebounds versus the 10 of Davao, but really better conversions on second chance opportunities.
And our best player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the EMPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet, just as he played well against Davao when he was with Mindoro. He comes up with another strong performance here, this time in a Sarangani uniform against the same team.
Yeah, 15 points and a 5 of 11 shooting. He was 4 out of 6 from the free throws. He got 5 rebounds, a couple of assists without a turnover, and 2 blocks.
And the Sarangani Gripper going for this victory, 66-54 against the Davao Occidental Tigers. Danny Marilao is at courtside with me.